Now put the suitable sign, belong or not belong, subset or not subset. Remember, we use the symbol belong or not belong between elements and set, and we use the symbol subset or not subset between set and set. In number 1, here we have element and set, so we can use belong or not belong. 65, and in another side we have z negative. Of course, 65 is positive number, so 65 doesn't belong to z negative. In number 2 we have negative 8, and in another side we have z. Negative 8 is negative number, and z, as we know that z contains positive and negative and set of 0. That means negative 8 is belong to z. In number 3 we have set of 15 and z negative. Here we have two sets, so we can use subset or not subset. Here 15 is positive number, but z negative contains only negative number. That means the correct answer is not subset. The last one we have 0 and z. Of course, 0 is belong to z. Remember, here 0 is an element, so we use the symbol belong. In number 5 we have the decimal numbers 4.5, and in another side we have z. Of course, z contains the whole numbers only, so 4.5 is not belong to z. In number 6 we have 13 over 5. 13 over 5 is not belong to z, because if you divide 13 by 5 you will get decimal number, and decimal number is not belong to z. In number 7 we have z positive and natural numbers. Z positive is subset from n. Here we have two sets, z positive and natural numbers. The last one, natural numbers and z. Of course, natural number is subset from z. Opposites and absolute value. On the number line, any two numbers that are the same distance from 0 and on two opposite positions of it are called opposites or inverses. As we can see here, in the middle we have 0. In the right of 0 we have the positive numbers, and on the left of 0 we have the negative numbers. Here we have 5 as a positive number, and in the opposite 5 with the same distance we have negative 5. So each of the integers 5 and negative 5 have the same distance away from 0. Therefore, 5 and negative 5 are opposites. The absolute value. The absolute value of a number is its distance from 0 on the number line. The absolute value of any number x is denoted by the absolute value of x. The absolute value of any number except 0 is always positive, and the absolute value of 0 is 0. Here, number 1 is read as the absolute value of 4 is 4. But number 2 is read as the absolute value of negative 4 is 4. In number 3, it read as the absolute value of 0 is 0. Now find each of the following. The absolute value of negative 9 will be equal 9. In number 2, we have the absolute value of 0. As we said before, the absolute value of 0 will be equal 0. In number 3, we have the absolute value of negative 2 plus the absolute value of negative 7. First, you have to find the absolute value of negative 2, then the absolute value of negative 7, then add the two numbers. So negative 2, the absolute value of it will be equal 2, and the absolute value of negative 7 will be equal 7, and 2 plus 7 equal 9. In number 4, we have the absolute value of negative 3 multiplied by the absolute value of negative 2. So 3 times 2 will be equal 6. In number 5, the absolute value of negative 6 minus the absolute value of negative 6 will be equal 6 minus 6 equal 0. And the last one, the absolute value of negative 10 divided by the absolute value of 2. So the answer will be equal 10 divided by 2 equal 5. Now find the value of x. Number 1, the absolute value of x equal 5. So what is the value of x here? Of course, x may be equal 5 or negative 5. In number 2, the absolute value of x equal 10. So x also will be equal 10 or negative 10. The last one, the absolute value of x equal 0. That means x here is equal 0. Thank you for your listening, and goodbye.